The Sochi Autodrome, the newest circuit in Formula 1, and unfortunately it wasn't blessed with an exciting race back in 2014. With Pirelli being too conservative on the tyres, and Rosberg making a mistake on the first lap, the race was a foregone conclusion by the end of the second lap. But can that change here? All the teams now have experience of Sochi, and with Pirelli bringing more aggressive tyres to the 2015 Grand Prix, we should be able to see a truly exciting race. However, there isn't that much to play for at the moment, with Hamilton leading the Drivers' Championship by quite some way, and the National F1 Championship being a foregone conclusion with Finland winning that. The only interesting battle at the minute is the battle in the Constructors' Championship. It's looking like a three-horse race between Mercedes, Ferrari and Williams, but Mercedes having the clear edge over the other two. But with there still being a few more rounds left in the 2015 season, can Williams, the British constructor, close up and finish ahead of the Italian constructor and the German constructor? Well, let's find out as the Constructors' Championship truly commences here in Russia. Here at the Sochi Autodrome, the venue's second ever qualifying session got underway. Initially there seemed to be some potential drama in qualifying, as the weather report suggested there may be rain come the end of the session. However, in the end, the rain didn't come and Q1 ended with Will Stevens, for one of the few times this season, being out-qualified by his teammate Roberto Merhi. Just ahead of them was Jenson Button, who was away off Fernando's pace, but the shock eliminations were both Red Bulls, who really struggled around here, as Ricciardo qualified a lowly 17th and Kvyat only one place better in 16th. Q2 started again with the potential for patchy showers come later on in the session. Once again though, the rain didn't come, and so another standard 15 minutes of qualifying ended with Fernando Alonso in 15th, Max Verstappen in 14th, who's a fair bit slower than his teammate who didn't even get eliminated. Just ahead is Marcus Ericsson, and then both Force Indias headed by Nico Hülkenberg. Another thing to note though is that Kimi Räikkönen set his best lap of the session on prime tyres, so he'll have to start the race on the primes while most of us will be starting on the options. The final qualifying session started again with the threat of rain for the end of the session looming over. However, for the third time this qualifying hour, it wasn't the case, as drivers such as Valtteri Bottas were able to go out on a standard dry session. In the end, it was Bottas who was the fastest in Q3, with both Mercedes behind him, but the front row being shared tomorrow with Nico Rosberg. Vettel is in 4th, and Bottas' teammate is down in 5th. The shock of the session was Raikkonen, who qualified all the way down in 9th, behind both Lotuses and Felipe Nasr. However, with Raikkonen being the only one in the top 10 to start tomorrow's race on the prime tyres, he could still get a very strong finish come the end of the Russian Grand Prix. So here we are on the grid for the Russian Grand Prix. As you can see there, we are starting on the option tyres at the front of the grid, something which Valtteri Bottas wasn't quite able to do in the real-life Russian Grand Prix, which obviously happened just a couple of days ago. But as you can see, starting on the option tyres, we're predicting a two-stop strategy for today's race, so going on the options again, then going on the primes at the end of the race. And let's see how that strategy goes, as the 5 lights are lighting up, and they're going to go out anytime now, and we got to a squirrely start actually. Looks like Nico Rosberg has jumped us at the start, and I think Hamilton's got past us, and now Massa's come out of nowhere to get past us. We've lost 3 places before we've even gotten down to the first corner, but we're going to power past Hamilton and Massa, and okay, the other two seem to break very early, and we've run a tiny bit wide at the first corner, but we've been able to get back into second, so we've lost a place off the start there, just behind Nico Rosberg, but we'll have to try and see if we can catch up with him. Maybe he'll have a throttle pedal issue, maybe, we'll just have to hope that happens. But anyway, yeah, here's a replay of the start from Massa's point of view. So as you can see, we got off to a very smoky and squirrely start, and Massa powers away. He just has a very good start, like we've seen the Williams have in real life, up to second place, and was catching up on Rosberg. Unfortunately, stuck behind Rosberg, and he just broke very early, and then Ricciardo didn't really help push him out wide a bit. and he tries to make the move on Lewis Hamilton, and it looks like he's going to do it because he's got the inside line. So I think we can have a Williams 2 and 3, although Hamilton's got around the outside of him, so Felipe Massa is back down into 4th place, with Hamilton in 3rd, Bottas in 2nd, and Nico Rosberg still in 1st. Let's get on to the 2nd lap. We're going to use, well, not DRS, but we're going to use the slipstream and the Williams power, and we're going to see if we can get past Rosberg without DRS. And it looks like we're going to force him out, and we run a bit wide there, a tiny bit wide, but we're going to keep the place because Rosberg's nowhere. I think we forced him out a bit wide there. Now we're going to have a look at Lewis Hamilton, who's trying to make the move on his teammate. So he's stuck behind Rosberg in DRS, because this is the 2nd DRS zone on the track. He's going to try and make the move around the outside, is he? Is Hamilton going to take 2nd place from Nico Rosberg? And, yep, Lewis Hamilton is now in 2nd, with Nico Rosberg now down in 3rd. As you can see, we pulled out a couple of seconds already from the pairing, and as you can see, here's Felipe Massa, who was in 4th, got off to a brilliant start, but he's being hounded by Sebastian Vettel. Now Vettel's going to try and make the move on Felipe Massa, and it looks like Vettel's just gone around the outside of him, almost a repeat of what Hamilton did to Rosberg, and as you can see, Vettel's pulled away already from Felipe Massa, which is quite worrying from the Constructors' Championship point of view. But now, going back to the start-finish straight, we've got Nico Rosberg, who's going to try and repass Hamilton using DRS, and as you can see, Nico Rosberg, has he got back into 2nd place? Yep. Oh no, has he? No, because Hamilton is on the inside line for turn 3, and Hamilton's got the inside line, and yes, I think he's defended 2nd place from his teammate Nico Rosberg. So let's get into lap 8, and both Mercedes actually battling was actually working to our advantage quite nicely, because they dropped back about 4 seconds away from us, so definitely outside of DRS range, and then just battling with us, or batting with them. With them battling each other relentlessly means we'd be able to pull out an advantage, which is good because we're doing the 2-stop strategy and did pit in very early. As you can see, both Mercedes have got past us and Sebastian Vettel has got past us. And now it looks like our teammate Felipe Massa might just about get past us. So both Williams cars, we're going to swap places. As you can see, Massa's got past us, but he's going to be coming into the pits very soon because obviously he's going to have very worn tyres, whereas we're on fresh option tyres. And as you can see, skipping on to, well, the 2nd DRS zone, and this looks like we're going to have another battle between both Mercedes cars. Now we're going to see if Rosberg's able to take it. He's able to take 1st place off of Lewis Hamilton, where it's obviously a provisional 1st place, because obviously we've come into the pits. But Rosberg, he's made the move on Hamilton, or has he? Because Hamilton's going to have the inside line for this corner, and no, Rosberg's been able to hold it, although they're side by side, and actually this is a replay, because as you can see just there, we just went to the pits, so this is just before we went to the pits. I forgot about that. But anyway, as you can see, Rosberg is able to hold 1st place there. So remarkable side-by-side battling with both Mercedes, which is how they were held up so much. But anyway, as you can see, both Williams cars. So this is going back on here, and we're stuck behind Felipe Massa. Obviously, he hasn't pitted yet, so it should be a simple DRS pass. He's not going to hold us up much, because obviously we've got the Constructors battle to worry about, but that's a beautiful shot. Both Williams side-by-side there, but as you can see, we got past Massa easily, because he's not going to hold us up, as I say, for the Constructors' Championship battle. As you can see, there's a couple of cars in the pits there. I believe that is Sebastian Vettel who's in the pits, and, oh no, it's just Vettel who's in the pits. So we're up into 3rd place, and hopefully we should be able to get past both Mercedes cars. And now is this Lewis Hamilton trying to make the move on Rosberg, and easily, well, he's broken quite early, and is he going to hold 1st place? You'd think so, although Rosberg's got the inside line, but Hamilton is just a tiny bit further ahead. His nose is slightly ahead of Rosberg's, and going into the 4th corner, he's going to have the inside line. Is Rosberg going to hold it around the outside? Just about. They're still side by side, and this is how they lost each other so much time in comparison to Valtteri Bottas, because they're just side by side battling relentlessly. But it looks like Hamilton's got the place done and dusted, and Lewis Hamilton is in a provisional 1st place for the time being until, well, him and Rosberg pits, and then we should rejoin ahead, obviously doing the undercut on both Mercedes cars. But as you can see, one of the Mercedes cars is into the pits, so it appears it's Lewis Hamilton is going to the pits. So both Mercedes have been clever enough to not double stack, and Lewis Hamilton has come into the pits, but he's going to have to do a lot of laps on the prime tyres. But it's achievable, and Lewis Hamilton has pitted, and now that means we're up into 2nd place, right up behind Nico Rosberg now. And this is before Rosberg's pitted. We're essentially a pit stop ahead of him, and we're going to get the DRS past Nico Rosberg, and that just shows the sheer tyre wear that was affecting Nico Rosberg. But of course, we're going to be pitting an extra time compared to Nico Rosberg. But as you can see, this is Lewis Hamilton going around the last corner. Now, Rosberg is in the pits currently. So is Lewis Hamilton going to get the jump on Rosberg, who pits in a couple of laps later? Let's find out. Lewis Hamilton, as you can see, there was Rosberg we just saw behind the pit wall. And we're going to see, yep, Rosberg a fair way behind Hamilton. So Hamilton is now in a provisional second place. And as you can see, Rosberg, yeah, quite aware if he can hardly see Hamilton, that's how far behind he is. But obviously Hamilton, come the end of the race, his tyres are going to be more worn because he did pit in earlier, so that's the downside of the undercut, I suppose. But now we're coming into the pits for the final time to fit on the prime tyres. So it's Sebastian Vettel in second place. Although is Vettel coming into the pits? No, I don't believe he is actually. So Sebastian Vettel has got the jump on us, but of course he needs to come into the pits again later on. So he's in a provisional lead, but essentially we are leading the race. As you can see, Lewis Hamilton is about to get past us, is he? No, he must be very close to us though, because we did shut the door on him as soon as we could get, as soon as the white line ended, yeah, we pulled in front of him, and yeah, Lewis Hamilton's just behind us there. Now skipping on, now this should be when Sebastian Vettel pits, and that means we have now taken the lead of the Russian Grand Prix, and considering we've got no more pit stops to make, we should easily pull out ahead of everyone else. Now this is Kimi Raikkonen going to get past Massa. Now we saw Vettel get past Massa earlier on in the race, and now Massa's just dropping back here. The brilliant start, but it's just dropped places rapidly, and Kimi Raikkonen, who did start the race on the prime tyre, so Raikkonen is going to be going, he should be the fastest car on track because he's finishing the race on the option tyres. So we have got to watch out for Raikkonen, but he is a fair way behind because obviously of his low qualifying. So now we're going on to the third sector, and these prime tyres, they've just got no grip. I don't think we've gone up to temperature. We clipped the wall, and I think we lost a bit of our front wing there if we look at the graphic, although the engineer's telling us we got a bit of damage to our front wing. And luckily that happened right by the pits. Let's have a look at this. I don't think we got the prime tyres up to temperature, and I think we just... yeah, that wall, I have no idea why that wall is so close to the track. It's a bit of a stupid place to put the wall, but we just lost a bit of our front wing, and losing a bit of your front wing can cost you so much time. So we got to come into the pits, and that's ruined our race strategy. The only good thing is we can pit onto the option tyres, so we will be blisteringly quick at the end of the race, because, well, we're on the option tyres, everyone else will be on the prime tyres, so we have got that to look forward to, I guess. But both Mercedes cars have got past us, so it looks like Sebastian Vettel, is he going to get past us? Yep, so Vettel's got past us, so we've gone from first to fourth, because of that silly little mistake, just running a bit wide and just clipping the wall, which is so close to the side of the track. I don't know why the wall is that close, to be honest. It's a bit of a dangerous place to put it. But now as you can see, we're on board with Lewis Hamilton, well, we're chasing Lewis Hamilton. Now Lewis Hamilton's going into the pits. I don't know what this is all about. We may have given him some inspiration to come into the pits and end the race on the option tyres, because he hasn't done that many laps on the prime tyres. He's done way less laps on the prime tyres than he did on the option tyres at the start of the race, but that means Nico Rosberg is now leading the race, and well, I mean, that surely should be a done deal now for Nico Rosberg. And as you can see, well, we're going on to getting past Sebastian Vettel, who's in second. He's done quite well out of our mistake, and now Hamilton just changing the strategy on the fly. But we're going to get the DRS on Sebastian Vettel, and we should be up into second place. Lewis Hamilton is down in fourth place, but both Bottas and Hamilton, we're both on the option tyres, and that's given Hamilton enormous speed. So even though he's done a pit stop more than everyone else, look, he's going to get past Sebastian Vettel using the extra grip of the option tyres, and it's a bit of a weird strategy. I think us pitting onto the option tyres at the end of the race just gave him the inspiration to go on the option tyres at the end of the race. Hopefully that hasn't cost him his second place, but no, we know it hasn't cost us our first place, as we're behind Nico Rosberg, who was way ahead of us, about 15 seconds ahead of us, but well, maybe a bit less than that, maybe more like 12 seconds ahead of us, but we caught up the gap, and we're going to try around the inside of Nico Rosberg. We push him out wide, and as you can see, we're going to lead the race. We've done a pit stop more than even we were intending to do. I think we've done 2 pit stops more than Nico Rosberg was planning to do. And now as you can see, Lewis Hamilton, that hasn't cost him his second place, as he has come from nowhere, and he's going to take second place for the Brits. And that's fantastic to see Lewis Hamilton change his pit stop strategy on the fly, but was still able to take second place. But crucially, Valtteri Bottas for the British Williams team is going to win here in Russia, and he's just spun across the line. So as you can see there, Valtteri Bottas on the podium, which he damn nearly did in real life obviously. There's Nico Rosberg on the podium, he wasn't able to do that, but there is Lewis Hamilton on the podium. So we have got one slight accuracy to the real life Russian Grand Prix, even though none of it was really accurate at all. But anyway, skipping on to the race results, as you can see, Lewis Hamilton in second place, which means he's extended his lead in the championship, the Drivers' Championship hunt compared to all of his rivals other than Valtteri Bottas. Felipe Massa finishes in 6th, so it's an okay day for Williams come the end. And there were no retirements this race, complete contrast to the real-life Russian Grand Prix. Jenson Button way down 14th, Alonso in 16th, so a poor day for McLaren. Anyway, with those race results, we can see the drivers' table. Lewis Hamilton is still leading the Drivers' Championship by 30 points. So Valtteri Bottas did catch up, but everyone else didn't catch up in comparison to Lewis Hamilton. And his Drivers' Championship, much like in real life, is looking pretty secure at this point, because I don't see anyone else who can challenge him when there's only 4 races left to go. Especially both Ferraris having very poor results this race, which doesn't bode well for their results in the remaining rounds. On to the second half of the Drivers' Championship, and I don't think there's any changes here at all. I don't think any of these people actually scored any points this race, so it's exactly the same as we saw last time, but Will Stevens still amazingly in 14th, because he's done such a top job. Well, at Monaco he did such a top job, and that's why he's still 14th in the drivers' table. On to the Constructors' Championship, and Mercedes did actually pull away from Williams during that race, which is quite unfortunate from the British Constructors' point of view, but Williams did jump Ferrari this race, so that is a good thing, and Williams are now in second, 11 points ahead of Ferrari, but we're still 50 points away from Mercedes, and I don't see us realistically being able to beat Mercedes in the Constructors' Championship unless Hamilton and Rosberg have some extremely bad luck. Finally onto the Nations Championship, and this is a foregone conclusion. Finland, I don't know if they have for definite won the Nations table yet, but I'm pretty sure that they have won the National F1 Championship. So Finland, well done to them, especially Valtteri Bottas winning today's race. Great Britain are in 4th behind Australia and Germany, who look pretty comfortable with their positions, but Great Britain are just ahead of Russia and Brazil, who are still very close. So there's a battle for 4th there in the National F1 Championship, with the USA still the only country not to score points, with Alexander Rossi, who obviously didn't take part in this race. But anyway guys, I hope you enjoyed this episode. Be sure to leave a like, and next time we'll be at the American Grand Prix in Austin, so that could be a very good opportunity for the USA to score their first points at their home race. It's extremely unlikely that that will happen, because Alexander Rossi, obviously, in the Man in Russia, shouldn't really be scoring points, but you never know. This is Formula 1 and anything can happen, and we'll have to see how all the other championships progress coming into the closing rounds of the 2015 season. So I'll see you for the American Grand Prix. So I'll see you then.